Hello, everyone. It's me, Amy Singleton, coming to you from my back patio where I've spent a lot of time the last couple of weeks. It's actually finally getting nice outside here in Oklahoma. I am wearing my favorite house shirt. This is one of Joseph's old shirts that I took from him a long, long time ago, and even my non-matching striped shorts. So one of the things we want to do with this channel that Joseph and I talked about when we first started it was to have some, in addition to the videos that we do together, talking to you guys about marriage and life and family and our sobriety and all of those things, we also wanted to have some individual videos that we did in a sort of confessional style, which is what this is. This is my first one. I've been thinking about doing many of them over the past few weeks, but I just haven't. Life gets busy, work gets busy, whatever, everything gets busy, right? But the reason I chose to do this one today in particular is because we haven't been putting out very much content, and I wanted to tell you why and kind of just let you in behind the scenes of my life. I share a lot of stuff on my social media channels, but this is the closer to the basement channel, if you will. So you get to know more about Amy's life here. What's been going on is a lot of you know, I have lots of autoimmune disorders, lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, psoriatic arthritis. I don't know, there's like a list of them. I have not really been in treatment for them for a while. I've been taking one medication called LDN, which is low dose naltrexone, which is basically a tiny, tiny dose of Narcan. If you've heard of that, that's what police officers and health professionals give to people who've overdosed. They discovered that in tiny doses, this medication helps to control autoimmune symptoms. And overall, I do pretty good. I would say I probably have a bad flare maybe 3 to 4 times a year. And what that looks like is extreme fatigue, extreme brain fog, pain, joint pain, skin pain, muscle weakness and pain, and just a lot of fatigue and sometimes other illness, sore throat, headaches, digestive problems, whatever. Mainly pain and fatigue and brain fog. Well, I haven't been seeing a rheumatologist in quite some time, and my son, who is now 16, was just recently diagnosed with psoriatic arthritis himself. So I've got him in seeing a doctor for that. Obviously, he's on some medications, trying to control his knee pain. He plays football. He's a big kid. So I committed to reestablishing care for my autoimmune stuff because really it's about preventing problems later on down the road. Anyway, long story short, they put me on a new medication called Cosentyx. It was designed for psoriatic arthritis, but it is used in a variety of autoimmune disorders. It's some kind of cell inhibitor. You can get really into the details about the way that it works, but basically in hopes of preventing some of the everyday symptoms that I live with every day and preventing problems in my future. The way that medication starts, first of all, it's really expensive. Had to go through all these hoops to jump through to get insurance to pay for it, etc. Once we did that, they approved it, then they shipped it, and then UPS let it sit on a truck for 2 days, and that was like, I don't know, $30,000 worth of medication wasted. Then they resent it, then we started it. The way that you start it is you take 1 shot per week for 5 weeks in a row, and then you go monthly. Well, I took shot 1, almost no symptoms. I had a sore throat, maybe a headache. Took shot 2, same, sore throat, mild symptoms. Took shot 3, still okay. Then I took shot 4. And the day after I took shot 4, I was feeling really bad, super bad flare. And that's been 2.5 weeks ago now. I had the option of stopping the loading doses and trying to reattempt it later. I didn't really want to do, so I just pushed through and I went ahead and took dose 5 last Wednesday. And now here it is Friday. No, I took it this Wednesday. Think. Oh my God, time has gone by. I think I took it last Wednesday. So it's now been it's been 2.5 weeks since shot 4. All that to say, obviously I've had brain fog. I have had severe pain, as if you've been in a really bad car wreck is the best way I can describe it. Or if you've just worked out, like ran a marathon or lifted weights and did every muscle group. Sorry, I keep hitting that mic. Fascia of your muscle, it just feels tense or sore, tight. And then all of my joints have just been on fire. This is not like gripe session to say, oh, this is why I've been feeling bad. But the point of me saying all of this is that it has really got, when that happens, it's basically like it's induced a flare in me. And when I get a flare like that, I struggle with my mental health. I struggle to stay positive. I struggle to wonder everything in the world is bad during those times, right? I don't know if you've ever experienced a chronic illness or just been through a time when you weren't feeling good physically. And then that really just starts to screw with your head. I was questioning my own purpose. I was questioning business. I was questioning my parenthood. I was questioning everything over these past few weeks. And I have to constantly remind myself, and I remind Joseph to try and help remind me too, that when I'm feeling that way, that everything looks bleak and that everything looks bad. And as I've started to feel better this week, I'm not feeling that great today, but I felt better this week. I taught a class at the chamber on branding and social media and stood up to do that for an hour and a half. So that was something. My head is starting to feel more clear and all of that. But one thing, I also had my birthday. That's the other thing I wanted to hit in this video. First point being, when you feel physically bad, sometimes it can really get into your head and start messing with you and you start to reiterate these lies to yourself that everything is bad and that your work or your family or your mental health is wrecked. Everything is bad and nothing's ever going to get better. But then the clouds start to clear. For me, when I start to feel physically better, then the clouds start to clear and I have hope again and things seem to be going the right way or getting back on track. So the other thing I wanted to kind of confess in this confessional video was that today is 20th, I think September 20th, 2024. And my birthday was on the 2nd of September. And I have this weird thing about my birthday, you guys. I turned 43, and one of my love languages is gift giving, or at least it used to be. I don't know that it is anymore, to be honest with you. It's been a weird thing for me, right? Like when you plan and try to make a really meaningful gift for someone, and then they don't have the reaction you want them to have because their love language is not gift giving, and they would have been just as satisfied with a gift card, and that's the kind of gift they give you, or not at all. It gets you in this weird mental space. And so like you kind of learn to only gift like that to people who really appreciate it. But I have found that receiving gifts is really not that important to me either. And so I said over the years, like especially since Joseph and I have been together, we've both kind of said this thing like where our birthdays aren't that important to us. Let's not make a big deal. Let's not do gifts or anything. We might bake something together or go to dinner, and that's about it. And everybody knows as you get older, like nobody makes a big deal out of your birthday, and you don't want them to make a big deal out of your birthday. In fact, every time my phone rang with someone calling with nice well wishes for me, I cringe like, oh man, I got to pick it up and acknowledge that it's my birthday. And I just can't quite put my finger on what it is that bothers me about my birthday. It also kind of gets to me around other holidays as well. Like I get really frustrated with the commercialization of things like Mother's Day or Valentine's Day or Christmas, how it all just feels like it just costs a whole lot of money, and it's something, a greeting card's what, $6-7 these days, and it's like, fine, I want to give you a greeting card, but you're just going to read it and toss it, and it doesn't matter to you. And so there's this whole like moral and, I don't want to say ethical, but like a societal expectation with birthdays and holidays. I love to celebrate with others, but I think really what it gets down to is that every year when my birthday comes around or when holidays come around, it's kind of a reiteration or a reminder of honestly how few close relationships that I really have. I think that's really what it is. Whether that be with my family, where a lot of relationships feel, at least to me, really superficial. We don't talk about a lot of the deep stuff, the hard stuff. In my family, when I was younger and in my first marriage, we spent every waking free minute together, it felt like. And I don't know what's happened. Maybe it was my drinking and my addiction and my divorce and things that kind of drew me away from all of that. My kids are a little bit older now, or they're all much older now compared to my sister, who still spends a lot of time with my parents because, her kids are like 8, I think. Oh, that kills me to think he's that old now. But still elementary age, right? Elementary and just barely starting high school age. I mean, they spend a lot of time together. I don't spend as much time with them anymore, which is so weird. The people that I spend a lot of time with online aren't close here in Oklahoma City. And it feels like anymore that my network goes, a mile wide and an inch deep. And I've been seeking more deeper relationships. It's hard for me to open up to those. I haven't had a ton of deep relationships in my life. And those ones that I did or do have, I wrecked a lot of those, right? Through my drinking, through my depression and my anxiety period where I kind of withdrew from everybody. I don't know if anybody else identifies with that, which is not feeling like you have a lot of close relationships and that you have some other boundaries with like maybe family or other close business relationships that you can't necessarily get really deep with or go get close with. But for me, it feels like a lot of the relationships I have are reciprocal in nature, like we're in a business relationship or I hate to use the word tit for tat, but it is, what can I do for them? A lot of times is pretty heavy. It's pretty heavy on that side, which gives you a lot of burnout in the people department. I feel like that's something God's calling me to do right now is to love people. I had a great conversation with my friend Rebecca the other evening at dinner talking about purpose and how so many of us are like wrapped up with what is our purpose in this life. And she said, God told us our purpose. It was very clear to love him and love each other. And she said, anything above that is just icing. Or as we like to say in Oklahoma, it's just gravy, right? So that's kind of beginning to shift my perspective a little bit. And there was a message at church a few weeks ago. We had a pastor come in that isn't our normal pastor. He visits sometimes and shares more kind of in your face messages, which I really appreciate. I love them. He was talking about, a lot of us hate people. We say, I hate people. And I actually heard another, who was it? I don't think it was Joe Rogan. It was some podcaster said, you hate people, really? Do you? Because you are people, right? You hate traffic. Well, you are traffic. So kind of learning that grace that we all need to offer each other. And that was kind of what the message at church was like, God is saying, that's my child. Just like you're my child. And so loving and respecting one another is really hard sometimes, especially when you have disagreeing opinions or values more. For me, it's values. I can listen. I love to listen to different opinions and different perspectives all day long. But if someone's values are just not in the same place, it's really hard sometimes when you so vehemently disagree about the rights of others or the way things should be. So anyway, I know this is like kind of a lot of rambling, but I just kind of wanted to check in with you guys, see how do you feel about your birthday? How do you feel about holidays? How do you feel about relationships and adult friendships? Like, dude, there's this entire Facebook group right now in Oklahoma City that's like called OKC Finding Girlfriends. And it's just women who are desperate for connection with other women. And I feel like I am that. I have so many acquaintances and so many clients and business partners and networking friends, but man, as far as like truly, truly close, like walk through my front door in your slippers anytime, call me, text me day or night kind of friendships or relationships, I'm pretty dry on those. It makes me feel kind of weird. And I don't have that kind of relationship with my mom or my sister or anyone in my family either. And I don't even know if that's right for me. I don't know if it's it's something I crave from somebody who wants to be my best friend. Anyway, guys, just kidding. Joseph is my best friend. That seat is already taken. This is my confessional. Joseph and I have agreed, I think we've kind of tentatively agreed to not watch each other's confessional videos on this channel. By the way, tell me what you think about our new branding. Holy crap, I'm in love with it. The team at Height Digital knocked it out of the park. We do logos, branding, websites, SEO, paid ads. That's what our business does during I would say during the daylight hours, but it seems like it's sort of a 24-hour thing for the team. But anyway, love you guys. Let's turn the world together. Let's open up these conversations. I'm going to do another video about a conversation we're starting here in Norman with the Virtue Center about the recovery and mental health community. I think that's a separate video though. So anyway, love you guys. Tell me what you think about these topics, about getting down in your mental health when you're feeling physically bad. Tell me what you feel about your birthday and holidays. And tell me what you feel about relationships in adulthood and friendships with your family and friends. Love you guys. Talk to you later. Let's turn the world together. Bye.